Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for your show of love. Thank you so much for all that you do for this community to keep growing. Hope you're well in all your ways, Your Majesties, and you're loving yourself and others like always. All right, today I would want to take your mind to this whole game that those who feel they're in charge of the world are playing. You know, there was a time I tried my best to drag your mind into the supremacists and how they work, how they operate. All right, the way they operate. When you see an operation that is that of those who are in control or those who are holding people down, you're going to understand that, okay, this is how these people work. Now it's circulating right now. Prior to this time, the Pope made a statement about what is happening in Ukraine. Oh, he wants peace. He's calling for peace because of the figure he is. He is a figure of peace because he is a religious leader, and that everybody understood. But something started recently that's become so controversial that the Pope would support countries, because of course right now Ukraine, Zelensky is asking for more support from EU and NATO, all those who have been supporting him during the war between Ukraine and Russia. So he's asking for more support, for more military support.
So within the space of 2 months, the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church, went from this.
With a deep love for Europe and in the spirit of dialogue that distinguishes this continent, we might ask her, where are you heading if you are not showing the world paths of peace, creative ways to bring an end to the war in Ukraine?
To this.
We should not play games with the martyrdom of these people. We have to help them resolve things. I see now that some countries are moving backwards, not wanting to give arms. A process is starting in which the martyr certainly will be the Ukrainian people, and that is an ugly thing.
Now the question is why? What made him go from suing for peace to now backing one of the warring factions? He is a religious leader. He is not supposed to take sides. He worships a God. He is the representative of the one mighty God. Everybody on earth is supposed to be children of this God.
Of using his pulpit to call for peace, Pope Francis has criticized countries for reducing military aid to Kiev, stating that that could directly contribute to Ukrainian debt.
We should not play games with the martyrdom of these people. We have to help them resolve things. I see now that some countries are moving backwards, not wanting to give arms. A process is starting in which the martyr certainly will be the Ukrainian people, and that is an ugly thing.
Well, to give you a sense of the aid provided by Western countries to Ukraine already, here's some data from the German Kiel Institute. EU institutions topped the list, pledging over €89 billion since the conflict began. The United States follows that, sending the equivalent of nearly €70 billion to Kiev. And Germany, which has signed off taxpayer checks to the tune of some €20 billion, rounds off the top three donor list. Let's cross live now to the head of the Vienna-based think tank, the Suvorov Institute, Alexander Markovits. Alexander, you're most welcome. Yeah, Pope Francis there claims that Western nations are, quote, playing games regarding continued Ukrainian military aid. What was your initial reaction when you heard that assessment?
Well, I think this time the Pope definitely spoke the truth, since now Poland is about to stop its weapon deliveries to Ukraine.
So why would the man who is the head of the church, the man who represents God on earth, take sides with one of the children when they are fighting? I don't know what made him change, but I know it has to be something really serious. So I'm just gonna try and hazard some guesses. Was he threatened with removal, as head of the church? Or was he threatened with death? Whatever, he is the Pope. He is the one who's supposed to be closest to God among all God's children. why should he be afraid of removal or death? Why would the Pope take sides in a fight among God's children? Now, I don't know about the earlier popes, the Inquisition popes, the Crusade popes. I know about the modern ones, and I know this will be the very first time ever any modern pope will come out and take sides in a conflict. So what's going on? We've always known the church, religion, organized religion is politics. But at least the popes have pretended, the modern popes that I know of have always pretended, to not take sides, to not be political. But this one has broken ranks with everything we know about modern popeship or popedom, whatever it's called. So this one has decided to choose a side, pick a side among his God's warring children. He's taken the sides of those he doesn't want to die against those he doesn't mind if they die or he wants to die. So the question is for all of you, those of you who, he represents, if you are of the Catholic faith or you are a Christian who believes in his position as the Pope, the head of the Christian church is what he is. So do you think this is the right thing he is doing? Do you think it is right for him to pick a side, choose his favorites who he wants, alive against those he wants dead among people who are all supposed to be the children of the God he represents? I don't know. He doesn't represent me. I'm not a Christian, so I don't know. But this is for you guys who he represents. Please let me know what you think, because looking in from the outside, I think this is strange. This is odd. I think it shouldn't happen, but I might be wrong. So you let me know.
So Ukraine President Zelensky was back in America this week. And prior to going to DC in order to beg for even more American tax dollars, which he will still get even if there's a government shutdown, Zelensky gave a rousing speech at the United Nations, rallying the world to the cause of Ukraine. And Ukraine state media posted a video of Zelensky giving this speech to a huge audience at the UN. Now watch this video and see if you can notice what the problem is here. Here it is.
Розповсюджувати, не допускати погрози нею, не допускати тренування для того, щоб забезпечити ядерне роззброєння. І це хороша стратегія. Але вона не повинна бути єдиною стратегією для того, щоб убезпечити світ від війни.
Did you see what I'm seeing? In case you didn't, according to the Ukraine state media, Zelensky was in the audience watching his own speech. That's right, they literally edited the video to give Zelensky a bigger audience than he actually had. This is a picture of the actual audience he was speaking to, a mostly empty room. But Zelensky did not want the folks back in Ukraine to know that. But unfortunately for him, somebody in the Ukraine propaganda department greatly fucked up. It's a super serious war, guys. Give him another $40 billion.
Alright, that was it, Your Majesties. The problem I have with this is that why can't he talk of ending the war instead of asking for more military equipment to be supplied to Ukraine? Why can't the war end? What is that problem that peace cannot reign? That it has to be military aid equipment sent to Ukraine? That means the war continues. Because the more the military aid, the more the strength they have to keep fighting. Is it not okay, as a head of a significant number of people, of faithfuls, call this both country together All right, because I know he's aware of the root cause of this whole thing. He's aware because he's in the center of the supremacy. No, when you talk about the hierarchy of the supremacists, the Vatican is involved. They are practically involved in this whole game of people's life, playing with people's life here and there. Now, it's even seen from how he's switching from here and there, because who knows why he made that statement prior to this time. Who knows what kind of pressure was on him that he made that statement. And who knows what kind of pressure right now is there that he's making statements like this. Your Majesties. Now, when it comes to Ukraine and Russia, especially Russia, you know, prior to this time, it has been circulated that Putin is the worst thing that could happen to anybody, to any country or continent in the world. The way the Western media, you know, painted Putin. When you hear of Putin, a lot of people have cursed him. A lot of people have wished him dead. Because the Western media have made us believe that Putin is the problem. Putin is a bad one. All right. And there are a lot of secrets I keep saying that Russia is aware of when it comes to the African people, those of African descent. Remember, this whole exposure that Putin has started, the whole exposure of just going in and exposing the hypocrisy of the supremacists, the hypocrisy, the shame of history, going to dig out all those melanated pictures they have hidden down in some cathedrals, underground in some buildings. Those pictures that were hidden, he brought them out, exposes a lot of things, and making us realize that there's a lot more to this whole Christianity. There's a lot more to this whole supremacists, to this whole those involved, those in charge, to this whole religion thing. All right, they are using it, they are politicizing it, they are gaining from it at the expense of our own life. They don't care. Putin exposed all these things, and I believe this will not go down well with them. They will always look for a way to bring down Russia. They will always look for a way to keep painting Russia as the bad egg. They can do anything. They have been trying, if not because Putin is a very stubborn man, and his stubbornness is working well for him, like he needed that stubbornness. If he were some persons who, those faint-hearted men, they would have taken him out for a very long time. But because he's steadfast, he knows the enemy he is after, and he knows how strong they are, that is what is still keeping him. So there's a lot of game here. A lot of politics around this whole thing, this whole fight between Russia and Ukraine. Because there is, sometimes I sit and ask myself, so you are okay to see people lose their lives. Little children lose their lives. People losing their homes. All right? People getting frustrated because of political gains. Because there are some persons seated up there who are calculating. All right? Like it's a game of chess. They are just playing it up there. They do not have any problem. They don't care who is there, who is no more. And this is how it is. They don't care about our lives as a people. They only care about what they can gain from whichever war that started. And that is what they want to do with Africa. They want Africa to be in the middle of this whole problem, so that the moment Al-Qaeda starts any major war, the moment any major war starts in Africa today, you think they care about Africans? You think they care about you? Those of you that are Africans that feel that the West are your saviors, you think they care about you? If anything starts today, they will leave everybody to rot, but they will go after the minerals that they care about. These are hypocrites. They know what they are doing. Your Majesties, leave your comments and thoughts there in the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive always. Bye for now.